Alright, we're going to load up a box that I've been creating. It's the Dewalt bottom box. And I have made two of these now. This one is a 24-inch box or 23-inch box. This is a 21-inch box. And the other original one was just, I just made it six-sided and then I took it over to the table. So I cut off about 1.5 inches, about 2 inches off this end of that. And then it left these a little bit sticking out, and this one, of course, got cut off with it, and that worked out pretty good. I thought, well, let's try and modify this just a little bit. So I made a 21-inch box. And the reason I cut it off is because the wheels on the table were basically a 21-inch apart, so the thing would be running over a 23-inch box. So that's when I cut them down. So I modified the box and made it 21-inch. And sorry about my voice is acting up. And anyway, so with that, I took this one piece, made it, used the box gadget, cut one at 21 inches, and then took my pieces and I only kept 3 of them. This one you run twice for your bottom and your top. This one you run twice for the end and the sides. And then these are the 2 dividers that come up into the box. And in all that creation, under your pockets, I cut it at 0.26. It's 0.25 material, and so that cuts through it in clean shape. And the cutout's the same thing, 26, 2 passes. It's 1/4-inch plywood, and it cuts through the material in good shape. So there's that. I did go into the box allowance. I said in the gadgets, go down here to the box creator, and I put a 0.02 allowance in there. I have been using 0.01, but 0.02 just made them fit without any fight at all, tight. So that's about the perfect one for a 1/4-inch plywood. Shark cut up took this tool and he modified it to remember your settings, and he made it just a lot more user friendly. It also doesn't error out on a lot of things, so it's working really well. And I want to say thanks for that. So we'll just click cancel and go back to that app. But basically that would have created all the box joints, and working pretty good. So there's our two boxes, and that's for the Dewalt Planer Stand bottom box. And let's go ahead and jump back over. All right, I'm going to set up to make a box for one of them tables. Here's one of them. I made this 2 or 3 days ago. This one's a little different. This one's going to have the end on it, but it's basically just a box like that. This other one's going to have a box on both sides, a cover on it. It'll have the slots in the middle, but it's going to be a little bit shorter, and it won't have that. And I still want to make one of these because I use this for just for a small parts box. So anyway, so what's it take to get that done? I need 3 pieces of 1/4-inch Luan, and so I've got them 3 in there. I've got one up here loaded up on here. Got a 1/8-inch bit in there. I'm going to use my 23 gauge pin nailer and put about 6-8 pin nails in it and just hold it down flat, and then we'll go to town. All right, set my Z, very corner, the center of the bit, not the edge of the bit, but the center of the bit. That's my corner, and got about 8 or 10 pin nails. Really highly recommend this Milwaukee 23 gauge pin nailer. It's dandy, and I don't know how many thousands of shots it's set in there, but just it's very dependable. Anyway, so I'm going to run that tool path and get her to cutting. All right, that took 7 minutes and 53 seconds to cut that side of it out. Let me pop that thing up and pull the nails up, put another piece in and get her loaded up and going. All right, I pulled the pin nails out. They're 1/2 inch. Just used a pair of dikes, went around there and just pulled them out real quick. And then I'll just run my dikes over the top of it like this to find them. Just can't hardly see them. And then I'm going to vacuum them up and put another piece on there. All right, I'm out of bullets. Pulled it out of my little Harbor Freight case. I've got it there, and those are all my pin nails, 23 gauge. Load the thing up, put it in there like that. shut, I'm ready to go again. And of course, it's a nice thing is it just quits firing whenever it runs out of bullets, so you know that you haven't put any in there. So let me go ahead and put a few more pins in there and we'll be done. Okay, while it's over there running, this piece is with the down cut, and you can see the on the bottom of it gets a little rough, and all I gotta do is run over that with the sander real quick and it'll clean that all up. Let me just get that done. By the way, if you don't have one of these, it's a Flex Milwaukee M12 sander. Best little sander I've ever used. Gets into places tight, and it just does a good job. So let me get her sanded off. Alright, little sanding, took all the furries off of it. And it's ready to go. Cutting out the other side of it, and we'll move to the shoulder side. Alright, got them up. Just pull them little nails out of there. Just a matter of finding it, giving it a flip over. And you can find it by just simply dragging your pliers over it. You don't have to really look for it. And just like that one right there, I can see it backside. There's one here. One over here. One back here. Then I generally put 3 out here in the middle. 1, 2. The nice thing about these is if you don't get them, they get you. So I mean, they're like just like a straight pin. So you know, just sit there and run that over like that, and you know you got it. Run your dust collection over it, and you're ready to go for the next piece. And that last piece took 7 minutes and 54 seconds. All right, that was 10 minutes for those two sides, or one ends of one side each one. So let me get that popped up and see if we got another one to run here. All right, there's the other two sides. Took 10 minutes and 27 seconds. So the complete box on the outside is 1027 times 2 and 8 minutes times 2. So here we go. All right, that one took 4 minutes and 58 seconds, so about 5 minutes. That's the two center supports. Let me get them out of there. All right, there's dry fit. I did make my allowances at 0.02, and that 1/4 inch plywood just fits together, no problem at all on the first cut. So, and yeah, there's no little slop in there, so the 0.02 is good. We get my clamps and glue out, and let's glue this thing together. All right, one project that I was doing there in the woods, and back to this. Now I got it glued up. This one's got the little side on the end of it, and that's basically that box is going to sit right in there. These are just glued up. It hasn't been sanded or anything, just basically been glued. It's 21 inches by 17.5, and then it's got the dividers, and it's open on both sides on this box. And so I've also got a small lip right in here. And the problem with these tables is whenever you put something underneath the bottom of it, like right in there, you put those pieces in there, and next thing you know, every time you bump it, you're losing pieces. So I'm needing some slots, and besides that, I'm getting some storage. So between all the tables, 5 tables, that'll give me some more room, allow me to clear off the bottom of the drill press, you know, the different tables. So anyway, so there's that. I'm going to declamp it and then probably get ready to sand it. The Lowe's has got these little mobile racks, and they're fine, except the amount of weight I put on this one, it did not want to hold up on those little wheels that came with it. So I put up a dolly cart. I got 2 of them from Harbor Freight, put them on there and bolted them on the deal, so that handles all the weight in pretty good shape. Still have the original wheels where they are still on, except for the one that one bent off. But anyway, talking about storage for clamps, you know, these little Harbor Freight deals, they fit right down in there. These little guys right here fit in them little trusses that are on that. The same goes for that and like that, and then also your little sponge clamps. So basically all of my clamping is right here for on the table here where I do most of the clamping. And then of course I have other C-clamps, the heavier clamps, C-clamps on the bandsaw racks. And then over there on the wall is my bar clamps and my bigger stretch clamps. So anyway, so let's get these off and get this together. My new woodworking dog, Blaze, he was telling me that it's probably a good idea for me to pick up another one of these little tables. They're easy to store, they're lightweight, they make a handy deal that you can drop out to the driveway, do some painting on, and they go together quick. So probably will pick up another one of these. My son's actually in this construction business. He's bought for, I think, 3 or 4 different of the sawhorse tables that come for like chop saws and everything, and he's ended up settling on these because they're light, they're versatile, and they don't break per se. So anyway, I'll probably pick up another one of these tables, and they store so easy, so don't take any room. All right, just looking this over. Put the slats in the middle. Put the slats in the ends here to give it strength and all that good stuff. Came out pretty tight. Gluing, I had a little bit of discrepancy in my top parts right there. I should have had a clamp or a weight in there, which I would have been better off to put me a couple of weights right down in here. So that would have pushed those other pieces up in there. In the top part, but you know, they're still in there 1/4 inch. So they ain't going anywhere. And again, I set these glue joints to 0.02 on the allowance in the gadget, which they a whole lot easier to put them together instead of fighting them. And of course the slots, and so you know, we're talking nice box, very solid. I mean, you know, these boxes, they're just glue and the Type Bond glue, and that's it. Took about maybe 5-10 minutes to clamp them all up. I just spread glue all over the joints and clamp her together. So these are utility boxes, and I'll basically take a rough sander and go around and sand the edges off just so that I don't get any cuts on it, and it'll make it a little cleaner. And generally whenever I'm putting them together, I put the rough sides on the outside because they get sanded anyway, and leave the clean sides towards the inside so that they look clean. Of course, you can see all my glue on there and everything, but there you go. If I was really concerned about that glue, I'd probably just put tape around there, but yeah, just wiping it off. And then of course it's always settling in. So, but for a nice, you know, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, you know, it's not very heavy, but it's very, very strong. And we'll put that underneath there and let her go. All right, so that's where that box is going to go, down underneath there. These boxes, I made them about 4 years ago, and they're loaded with all kinds of wood. There's 4 of them, I think 3 or 4 of them, and I think 4 is what I've got. But anyway, I need to make one more of them. But anyway, those have been doing real well. I noticed that I banged this right here, and I put a little bit of glue on the box. But anyway, the rest of these boxes have all done real well as far as holding true. And they all have good scraps for different stuff. I know, you know, different ones. Some of them are just hold material, some of them hold tools, and for the biggest part, they've done real well. And so anyway, so I'm going to take this mess with all these sanders, and I'm going to be able to put them underneath that box and clean that mess up. So it's pretty cool. And as soon as the daylight comes up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get the sanding on this box over here and get her going. This is a Hercules sander. It's a beast. I mean, it flat gets with it. If you need to take any material off fast, this one will do it. I don't know so much that it would be good for finish sanding, just because it's just really wild. It's got a speed control on it. But man, it just it's a beast, and it just flat gets to going. So when it fires up, it's like kicking in and going. So but it does clean up stuff. I've got about four or five different sanders, and you know, each one I use it for a different reason. When I'm sanding different things, I load up 4 different grits on them and just grab them and go when I'm doing the different projects. So as soon as the sun comes up a little bit more, it's still pretty early, and then I'll get in there and sand that one clean and put it underneath the box. All right, there is the before video with all the stuff on it, and we're going to add that little deal on the bottom. So let's get to sanding this project. All right, there it is where it's cleaned up a little bit. There's the rack. Parts in the inside. Got a little rubber thing there on the bottom. Keeps my belts in there. Clean that up. That was a good project for, it might have cost me $10 material. And of course I got, you know, discounted on some of that material, but maybe $7 with discount. So anyway, so that's a good deal. Came together fine, makes a nice looking box. And there's the other one over there with the open face. And this is the one with the closed face. Of course the closed face looks nicer. And it's 21 inches, so it fits inside the wheels on the cart. There you go. And it's Blaze approved. So there we go. That's a good project. Alright, while I was sanding on that box, I'm thinking, you know what, a downdraft table would really be nice, because this thing is one dusty thing sanding on that box. So maybe that'll be the next project.